This video is the first in my series of Metaphysics and You. In this particular series, I will tell personal experiences, some of which you might have experienced yourself, but probably not. The whole idea is to tell you of things that have happened to me, and for you to respond, if you would like to, with things that have happened to you, perhaps in writing in the remarks column below. Many years ago, I used to be a shift worker, and I would have to get up at ungodly hours. They were broken shifts. Sometimes I'd do night shift, sometimes evening, sometimes morning, and sometimes very early morning. And on these very early morning shifts, I used to have to get up a little bit before 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 a.m. And I would set my alarm clock and place the alarm clock under my bed. I put the alarm clock under my bed on my side. Of course, my wife and I would both be sleeping in the same bed, fast asleep at, say, 3:30 in the morning. Then at about 10 to 4, the alarm would go off. I would reach out, stifle the alarm so as not to waken my wife at least too much, and then get out of bed and dress, so forth, do the various things, and then go off to work. This particular morning, I woke up in bed and the alarm had not yet gone off. And I found to my surprise that rather than lying down in bed with my head on the pillow, I was sitting up with my back and head leaning against the headboard of the bed. A thought went through my mind: why am I sitting up like this? Just a casual thought. It's not usual to wake up sitting up. And my head was tilted slightly to the right, well over to the right, I guess, because to my surprise, I could see that my wife was sitting up in bed also. And a thought went through my head again. Why is Rita, that's my wife, why is Rita sitting up in bed? And as I casually looked at her, I realized something very strange. She didn't look the normal colour. She was a sort of a bluish grey. But not only that, and here's the surprising part, I could see right through her to the headboard she was leaning against and anything beyond that. And as that realization dawned on me that I was seeing right through her, at that very instant, the alarm clock went off. And as the alarm clock went off, I felt this sudden jerk. And the next moment, I opened my eyes again. Whether I'd opened them in the first place, I don't know, whether I was seeing something else. But I opened my eyes again, reached out, stifled the alarm clock, and as I was doing so, I suddenly realized that I was now lying down. So there'd been an instant jump from sitting up and then lying down. And that's when it occurred to me. What had been sitting up was my astral body. What I'd seen in my wife leaning against the headboard was her astral body. Because when the alarm went off and I went down to the lying position immediately, as I looked across to her a few moments later, the same with her. My only conclusion is this, that when we go to sleep, some part of us which I will term the astral body, becomes out of phase and moves out from the body. Now, you've probably heard of astral travel and how the astral body, the spiritual body within us, can leave the body when we sleep. Obviously, it can also partially leave the body when we sleep. And I think that that is what I experienced. It stayed in my mind, and all of these years later, because this would have been back in the 1960s, it's still very clear to me. And to this day, I do believe that we, all of us, if I have an astral body and my wife has one, it seems to me that it would be uniform across all human beings. What's your opinion?